Welcome back to the channel. It's ATI TEAS TV, okay? So, yeah, I'm still travel nursing, of course. Got 2 weeks left on that, then I'll be complete with that. In the midst of me doing all that, I also started back into college at a university, and I just recently took my TEAS test. My score was 76%. You know, to some people that's kind of low, but to me, that's just what I needed. Now you gotta understand something. It's been 8 years since I first took the TEAS test. 8 years ago, I scored a 68. I was applying to the same college that I'm currently applying to now, and I got into the program with a 68% because they want you to have a 65% or higher. Thus, fast forward to now, I scored a 76%. So I went up. I went up 11. So I'm fine with that. So how did I prepare for that? To be honest, the way I take tests has always been the same. It's like you already know what you need to know. You just have to understand the concept of all that knowledge that you have in your brain. So when you look at that test, you know what they're asking or how they want the question answered, which is why I always do a bunch of practice questions. It has always worked for me when, I was really serious about taking my test and passing them. I've always done a bunch of practice questions. I generally didn't get study guides because I'm always studying as we're taking the courses. So when it gets time to take the test, I feel like my knowledge is already there. I just have to understand how the questions will be worded, will be phrased, what the answers look like, and what really is the concept of the question. And knowing that's always helped me. So before I took this test, that's what I did. I did over 400 practice questions and answered them and tried my best to understand them. And for those of you who have not yet taken your TEAS, TEAS stands for Test of Essential Academic Skills. So your math, your reading, your English, and your science. Basic math skills, so what I saw was a bunch of different fractions, solving for X, solving for Y. Your reading is pretty basic. Are you able to read the paragraph and have questions asked to you about the paragraph? And then English, a lot of my questions on my English test was based on sentence structure. So where do you put the comma? Where do you put the apostrophe? Where do you put the quotation marks? Do you understand what a complex sentence is supposed to look like? Was the majority of my English section. And then of course you got the science section. That was a little difficult because a lot of the things that we studied a couple years back when I took the A&P1, A&P2, microbiology, we don't really go back to a lot of that stuff. The particular phrases, that we use in nursing school, we may not actually say at the job, yet we know what they are, but they don't come up as much. For example, mitochondria and the nucleus, the myelin sheath. We're not actually saying these things at work. So of course you might want to brush up on your science skills if you are already an LPN. You've been doing it for a couple years. Some of the information might have gotten lost in the past. So I do recommend that. Finding you a study guide over the science portion, doing a bunch of practice questions on the math portion. Might remind yourself how to do fractions if you don't remember. You know how to read. You might want to look up the structure of a sentence for your English portion. And if you can do that, you should be all right. If you want to know where to get a study guide from, you could go straight to the website, the ATI website, and you can purchase a study guide from them. A little expensive, but at the end of the day, it's an investment that's well worth it. If you didn't know, my TEAS test costs $112. So if you fail, just know that you'll have another $112 to pay, unless you've got some sort of financial scholarship that will pay for all those things. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I think you'll do fine. And you might even get, I'm pretty sure it's possible that you probably get higher than me, especially if you're fresh out of school. Everything's gonna be right on the brain. So you probably get in the 80s, maybe in the 90s. I know people have scored 90 percentile, you know. But if you're just looking to get in, if you're just looking to get in and continue to move forward, you're not trying to get the highest of highest scores, then you're more like me. You take a more realistic approach to life, and you just want to do good in order to keep moving forward. You want to do good enough to keep moving forward. And that's what it's all about. Because when you finish and you are, you know, that LPN or that RN, nobody's asking you what you made on your TEAS test. Nobody's asking you what you made in class. Remember that C's get degrees. C's get degrees. And if you haven't learned that yet, C's get degrees. And of course, you know, we want to do well. We want to make the 88, we want to make the 95, 96. But you know, if you don't, as long as you pass and get to the end goal of whatever you're trying to get to, isn't that what really matters? But that's it for me. That's my update on my TEAS and my tips to you. Mercy Montez TV. Like, comment, subscribe, share. All right. See you in the next video.